The most divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world. You know, we have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country.
Things just got downright ugly over at The View, and trust me, you're going to want to grab some popcorn for this one. Joy Behar, the loudest and most controversial voice on that panel, is out. But this isn't some quiet retirement. Oh no, this is messy. She's packed her bags for good, and the chaos unfolding behind the scenes is something you wouldn't believe. Here's the bombshell. Karoline Leavitt has come forward, dropping the truth about her major role in Behar's shocking exit. ABC is scrambling, The View's ratings are plummeting, and Joy, oh, she's absolutely fuming. Sources say she's backstage, feeling completely blindsided by the way it all went down. This isn't just another shakeup, this could be the moment that tears the whole show apart. So what exactly happened? What did Karoline do that forced ABC to cut ties with their most infamous host? And let's be honest, without Joy Behar stirring the pot, can The View even survive?
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Here is Joy objectifying the White House press secretary, saying she only has the job because she's hot.
We're talking about one of the most divisive figures in daytime TV history. Love her or hate her, Joy has been the heart and soul of The View for decades. The debates, the meltdowns, the explosive fights, she was always in the middle of it all. And now, just like that, she's gone. Was this a planned move? A decision that was long overdue? Or an inside scheme no one saw coming? Rumors are swirling that ABC is desperately trying to stop the sinking ship. The network struggled to keep viewers hooked, and let's be real, this show thrives on drama. Without Joy throwing insults and clashing with conservative guests, will anyone even care? Is ABC cutting losses before it all collapses? Or did Karoline Leavitt pull off a shocking power grab? The backlash is already heating up. Fans are split. Some say it's time Joy stepped down, others call this ABC's worst mistake ever. So what's next for The View? Is this the beginning of the end? Trust me, you won't want to miss this. But before we dive into the craziest details, smash that like button and subscribe for more no-holds-barred updates. Let's get into it. Let's set the stage for this mess at The View. You've watched this show, you know they've got a nasty habit of attacking conservative women. They don't just debate them, they target them, mock them, and try to destroy their beliefs. It's like a game to them. But this time, they picked a fight with Karoline Leavitt, and boy, they had no idea what was coming. Karoline isn't just any political voice. She's a rising star, the youngest White House press secretary ever, razor smart, brutally honest, and done with the woke nonsense The View loves. Unlike rehearsed politicians who avoid drama, Karoline says it straight and stands her ground. She's a fighter, and when Joy Behar came for her, she screwed up by not realizing how hard Karoline would hit back. What started as a heated clash turned ugly fast. Joy, never one to stay quiet, went for the cheap shots.
Attacking a woman for her looks or age isn't very progressive. Let's bring in Sky News contributor Kosha Garda. Kosha, particularly that last clip that we played, it was so condescending. The way that she was scolding her as if she was a schoolgirl, suggesting she needed to do her homework. I find it so hypocritical when these so-called, caring, progressive voices just turn so nasty like that.
It's refreshing to see reporters like Kosha backing Karoline Leavitt. Guess that proves not all media folks are as clueless as The View's hosts.
Yes, and as you mentioned, with conservative women, there's a long list of that, both of Trump's previous press secretaries, females, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Kayleigh McEnany, other figures like his campaign manager the first time, Kellyanne Conway, Sarah Palin very famously had to bear the brunt of a lot of this. So people are used to that. I think in their bubble of the audience that The View speaks to, that's probably kind of what the group think is. So one defense, I guess, is that she was speaking to her audience, but you take it outside of that bubble the way you are right now, and we all can see what it is.
And when I say low, I mean embarrassingly low. With that smug, dismissive attitude she's known for, Joy mocked Karoline's entire career, stripping away everything she's worked for and reducing it to nothing but her looks. She flat out hinted that Karoline wasn't in her position because of her talent, experience, or brains, but because she was a pretty face handpicked by Donald Trump. And let's be real, even for The View, this was brutal. The second those words left Joy's mouth, you could cut the tension in the room. The audience gasped. Even Joy's co-hosts, who always back her up, were squirming in their seats. You know it's bad when your own team wants nothing to do with the mess you just made. It was one of those cringe-worthy moments where you could see the regret on Joy's face before the backlash even began. Once that clip blew up online, no going back. What Joy didn't expect was Karoline's comeback. Most people would have let it go, maybe tweeted a clapback or gave a half-hearted statement, but not Karoline. She wasn't letting Joy off the hook. Instead of playing the victim or crying unfair, she attacked head-on, no filter. Move, calling out The View's obvious double standards about women.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
They love to preach about supporting strong, independent women who break barriers and challenge the system, right? But the second a woman doesn't fit their woke-approved mold, it's like she's fair game for personal attacks. Suddenly, it's totally fine to mock her, belittle her, and shrink her entire career down to just her looks. Karoline didn't just sit there. She called them out for exactly what they were doing, and she did it loud. But Karoline didn't stop at a clapback. Oh no, she turned the tables. She exposed the truth. The View wasn't coming after her because of her qualifications. It was because she refused to play by their rules. She wasn't in their clique, didn't swallow their woke ideology, and instead of arguing her ideas, they took the cheap shot, hurling the easiest, laziest insult they could think of, the kind they'd never say to a woman on their side. That's when the backlash exploded. It wasn't just conservatives mad. People from all sides called out the obvious double standard. Even die-hard fans of The View admitted Joy crossed a line. It couldn't be ignored. And the best part? Karoline didn't just stand firm, she changed the game. Suddenly, it wasn't her credentials under fire. It was The View's credibility on the chopping block. And ABC? Oh, they panicked. They scrambled behind the scenes to stop the bleeding. This wasn't a minor spat, no. This was a defining moment, the kind that forces a network to make brutal choices. As pressure grew, something had to break. What happened next? That's where it implodes. This wasn't just about a bad segment. It was about power, control, and who's really running the show. And trust me, the fallout was way bigger than anyone imagined. Karoline didn't just clap back. She went straight for the kill, hitting ABC where it actually hurts. Their money. She didn't just shame The View for hypocrisy. She sued them. With a lawsuit so huge, it threw execs into total meltdown. This wasn't just about an on-air insult. Karoline meant business. She filed an explosive defamation lawsuit accusing Joy Behar of spreading lies to destroy her reputation. When those legal papers hit ABC's desk, chaos. ABC knew instantly this wasn't a small scandal. No apology or weak press release could fix this.
Rowan, I couldn't do that at 27. No nonsense, straight to the point, courage, detail.
This was a legal disaster that could cost ABC millions. If Karoline won, it wouldn't just hurt their wallet, it'd destroy The View's reputation. A lawsuit this big, a lasting stain on the show, a mess they'd be stuck with for years. Worst of all, no easy way out. Behind closed doors, ABC execs were panicking. Emails flew, emergency calls nonstop. This wasn't just about cash anymore. It was about The View's survival. Meanwhile, Joy Behar had no idea what was coming. She probably thought this would blow over in days. But then, boom, Karoline's lawsuit dropped and social media exploded. Reactions were instant, fierce, and brutal. Fans didn't just back Karoline, they mobilized like an army. Hashtags like #NeCancel The View and Fire Joy Behar trended everywhere, racking up millions of posts. And it wasn't just conservatives. Even liberal viewers admitted Joy went too far. Regular View defenders turned critics. That's when ABC hit panic mode. Insiders say execs freaked. This wasn't just hurting The View, it risked the whole network. Sponsors got cold feet. Big advertisers, the show's lifeblood, started doubting their ties to the chaos. ABC held round-the-clock meetings, scrambling to stop the spiral. Then came the shocker. The pressure grew too loud, the backlash too fierce. And just when Joy seemed untouchable, like ABC would never punish her, the unthinkable happened. And betrayed their queen. Joy Behar, controversy's reigning star for decades, was suddenly expandable. The network that shielded her through scandals now saw her as a problem. Talks shifted from damage control to erasing the mess. Execs needed a big move, so they cut Joy loose, but not directly. Firing her outright would have looked weak. Instead, they forced her to quit quietly, making it seem her choice, like she was moving on after years on air. Reality? She was pushed out. When news broke, Hollywood gasped. Joy had been untouchable, ruling the panel with an iron fist, dodging consequences for years. But this time, the lawsuit, the outrage, sponsors fleeing, it was too much. The reaction, instant. Karoline's supporters celebrated wildly. Hashtags like Joy Behar fired blew up. Meanwhile, The View's fans raged. Some called it betrayal. Others demanded ABC reverse course. Chaos everywhere. And Joy? Fuming. Insiders say she never saw this coming. She thought she was too big to fail.
Do you want to take this?
So you cannot be attractive and smart? I will try to give Joy the benefit of, well, thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing. Because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her own.
I mean, you would have to give her the benefit of the doubt that she did absolutely no research or reading about anything dealing with Karoline Leavitt before she made that remark.
These reporters just exposed how clueless Joy Behar's remarks really were. Seriously, it's wild that The View still has fans after years of awful hot takes. At least these journalists know how to stick to the facts.
Because Karoline Leavitt she went to St. Anselm College. She worked for WMUR
Ran for Congress?
in New Hampshire. She ran for Congress at the age of 25, put on a very good campaign. She lost by 8 or 9 points, but she still put on a good campaign. Then she was the press secretary for the Trump campaign.
She thought she could say whatever she wanted and get away with it. But in the end, even Joy Behar wasn't immune to the cancel culture she helped create. Now, with Joy gone, ABC is scrambling to figure out what's next. Can The View survive? Without its most notorious co-host, will Karoline drop the lawsuit, or is this just the start of something bigger? Because if this scandal taught us anything, it's that no one in media, no matter how loud their voice, is truly untouchable. But here's the twist. Joy's exit didn't fix a thing. In fact, it backfired. ABC thought pushing her out would calm the storm, but instead they lit a wildfire. First, The View's audience revolted. Joy was polarizing, but she was also the show's backbone. Her diehard fans felt betrayed, flooding social media with "sure you bring Joy back" and boycott threats. Conservative viewers, meanwhile, saw their chance to dismantle the show entirely. ABC's desperation backfired spectacularly. They thought firing Joy would stop the bleeding, but Karoline Leavitt wasn't done. The lawsuit, far from over. Karoline wanted justice, not just an apology, and with The View in chaos, she doubled down, suing ABC itself for letting bias and lies thrive on their platform. Then, another bombshell. Insiders leaked dirt about the show's toxic culture. Anonymous sources accused multiple hosts of bullying and smear campaigns. Suddenly, this wasn't just about Joy, it was a reckoning. The show's foundation was cracking. ABC panicked. Sponsors fled. The network was trapped. Keep Joy and risk losing everything, or cut her loose and pray. They chose option B, forcing Joy to quit quietly. But the PR spin, she's pursuing new projects, fooled nobody. Then Karoline struck again. In a fiery interview, she called Joy's firing a win for women tired of media hypocrisy. She blasted The View. They preach tolerance but attack women who disagree. This time, someone fought back. The final blow? Karoline declared, Joy got what she deserved. And she's right. For years, The View mocked conservative women with cheap shots, but now their queen of chaos is dethroned. So is this the end for The View? Let's be real, the show's never been about balance. It's a one-sided echo chamber. Joy's exit proves even their loudest hosts aren't safe. ABC gambled big, but was it too late? If the spiral continues, this could be their final season. Your turn. Was this justice or ABC's suicide? Did The View cross a line, or is this just more drama? Can ABC recover, or is this the final nail for daytime TV's most divisive show? With things clear, this isn't over. Joy won't go quietly. ABC's scrambling, and The View, its future's hanging by a thread. Stay tuned. More bombshells are coming.